How's it going today, guys? Right back at it again. I hope you guys are enjoying these type of videos. I hope you guys are enjoying Inside an Accountant's Mind in the new format. I've been having a lot of fun sitting down and doing these videos each and every day, so I hope you guys have been getting some sort of value or entertainment, whatever, out of watching them. So today's topic is going to be how much money is a lot of money? And that's a pretty broad question, but one as a finance individual that I get asked a lot in all different iterations of the question. So if it's a business owner, sometimes it may be, how much profit is a lot of profit? How much income is a lot of income? Individuals ask, obviously, how much do I need to make? How much is a lot of money? How much do I need? What kind of budget do I have to set? At what level do you think I'd be truly wealthy, or where do you think I have to get to? Tons of iterations of the same question, which is basically asking how much money is a lot of money. And I'm here to tell you that there really is no right answer, there's no wrong answer, and there is definitely no exact answer. Each unique individual, as all of us are, has their own budgets, has their own relationship with money, has their own money psychology, which is crazy fascinating, which I'll talk about more in probably future episodes. Everyone's got their own number, I suppose, of what would be considered a lot for them. But what's more important is for you to determine what that number is for you, and then how to best utilize that to live and then to dictate and then to hopefully grow and live a prosperous life. So that sounds broad, so I'll kind of break into it. So first and foremost, I think each and every one of us, it's crucial that we determine what a lot of money is for us, for you, for me, for each and every one of us. So for me, a lot of money was the day that I made $60,000 a year. I don't know why. I don't know what it was about that number, but for some reason in my mind, growing up, I didn't grow up with money. I didn't grow up in a family that had a lot of money. It was very paycheck to paycheck. So for me, for some odd reason, $60,000 a year, if I can ever see $60,000 a year, nobody's going to be able to tell me shit. I'm going to be in my bag. I am just going to be, on cloud nine. I'm set. I'm done. I can phone it in from here on out. Now I'll talk about why that isn't actually the case and how that changes. But for me, that was my number. And for whatever reason, what I've learned of working with different, business owners, entrepreneurs, and just individuals specific, when you start to get near or hit whatever this arbitrary number that each of us set is, you begin to see kind of the psychology change and kind of mindset. You see the approach change. You see the level of hard work, drive, excitement, all of that stuff. You begin to see it kind of shift in almost down gear if you're a car person, but almost just shift downward. And what I mean by that is when you get close to that number, when you hit that number, you kind of hit what you set as an arbitrary peak. So I see so many people lose, as I said, that drive, that excitement, and that passion to kind of keep going because they've hit whatever point it is in life that they're now good. And what's crazy about that to me is that's not even necessarily, speaking even personally, it's not even close to what, $60,000 was nowhere near my potential. It's nowhere near what was even 6 months after I first made $60,000, where my career went. But it was crazy that I saw within this window in myself where it was almost like for a month or two period where I just kind of found myself after I got to that point almost coasting in a weird way. And I see that with business owners all the time. If it's, well, I just want to turn a profit, or I just want to be able to make $100,000 a year. I want the business to make $1 million a year. I want to be a $10 million top line business. We all set these goals and these different achievement points in our own lives and our own careers that we work so hard for. And I think far too often people set goals that are easily attainable, but that's kind of beside the fact. But when they hit it, you'll start to see that drive and that passion to kind of continue growing stop. And that's why I think this is an important discussion to have, not because you need to necessarily have that amount, because a lot of money, to me, to anyone, is going to change based on what your life circumstance is. When I first made $60,000, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm loaded. I'm never going to have to work again. This is insane. I shouldn't say I'm never going to have to work again. I'm never going to have to work more than this. I've made it. Which half of you watching this are going to go, oh my God, $60,000. That is nuts. That's crazy. The other half are going to watch it and go, I would literally be broke if I made $60,000 a year. I would go nuts. I wouldn't be able to pay half my bills. I wouldn't be able to so how much money is a lot is very subjective to who you are as an individual. So that's why I really want to hone in on the fact that that is not the thing that you should be trying to figure out. This is all about money psychology and working towards finding out what do you need to live? What's your ideal life to kind of thrive? And then keep that way the heck in your back pocket and just start working and seeing, start working, putting your best foot forward, and basically just seeing where you can take life. Because whatever arbitrary goal that you have kind of set is actually only going to be a limitation to what your potential could be. So what I would recommend doing is really taking, as I said, kind of a long look at what's the bare minimum that I need to survive. And I don't mean, oh my gosh, I could buy crackers every day. And if I if shit really hit the fan, I would be, I guess I could sell all my TVs. I could live in a cardboard box. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, worst case scenario. So whether that's, I would live in an apartment and I would want to go out to eat maybe once a week, and I'd like to have a car. I would like to, be able to take a vacation or two a year. What is that worst case scenario life? And for me, that was I shouldn't say worst case scenario because there's obviously, a worst case scenario in that. But what's my personal, what do I want to set as my foundation worst case scenario? And for me, I found out that was that $60,000 a year number. I could survive on a lot less, but that was kind of that oh my gosh, if I could take a few vacations, that would be the dream worst case scenario. And I set that as, that number. And then I kind of set this tier of, all right, so this is my dream worst case scenario. Now what's my dream best case scenario? Oh my gosh, if I could take a vacation every quarter, and then if I could, have a house instead of an apartment, and then if I could have this kind of car instead of this, and I basically built this, dream scenario budget. And I took both of those, I set them in my mind so I know what they are. I have both of those numbers, but I threw them in the trash. And I know what those numbers are. I don't remember really what makes either of them up. But then I basically just started living my life. And I obviously have a budget that, to make sure I'm not overspending this and that day to day. But I just started living my life, knowing that if I'm not spending this on vacations, I don't get bogged down in the numbers. And now I work and I still have the passion. I still have the drive to basically build something that far exceeds what even my wildest expectations are. Because I think one of the more important questions, instead of asking yourself how much money is a lot, you really should be asking yourself, why do I think that's a lot of money? And then come to the realization that how many people have more than that? How many people have less than that? And this is realizing that number is really just a figment of what your situation was, growing up and what you were around and stuff like that. It's really a product of your surroundings, not necessarily, that's why everyone's answer is going to be different. So to really get the most out of yourself, to get the most out of your business, and to see, I guess, really where you can take your earnings, your profits, your sales, your income, your everything, is to work under the assumption that, one, there is no answer for what's a lot of money. Because what's a lot of money to me and Jeff Bezos are two totally separate things. Then it really asks yourself, what do I need to do today to be the best version of myself and to get the most out of what my current situation is? Whether that's at work, whether it's your side hustle, whether it's, anything. How do you be the best you today to get the most out of it? So whether that's, how do you get the most sales calls? How do I land the most clients? How do I perform the best at my job? Basically, just how can I be the best me? How can I put the most effort that I can put in to then, therefore, get the most out of your situation? Relating it back to the $60,000 number that I had earlier, I never really realized how much that number was kind of keeping me, was actually holding me back when I was working towards it. Because I thought, I just need to hit 60,000. I need to hit 60,000. But I noticed that, if I look at my, career earnings and stuff like that, as I've gone through my career, the longest gap with the least growth was when I was approaching 60,000 and after I hit $60,000. Because that was, when I was approaching, I was like, man, this is crazy. I almost can get there. I just got to keep, at it. But I stopped working to exponentially grow and to grow quickly because I was approaching what that number was. So I felt like I was good. I was starting to take the foot off the pedal. I didn't even notice. And then after I got it, I definitely took the foot off the pedal for a little bit. And since then, since I've kind of taken away that arbitrary number, I've obviously seen that continue to grow, at a more exponential and accelerated rate because I'm just putting forth my best effort every day. I'm just trying to continue to build and continue to grow, continue to work tirelessly, and just seeing, that there is no ceiling, that the potential is endless. So to wrap up, and I realize I've probably said this point, 6 ways from Sunday now, but at the end of the day, when you ask yourself, how much money is a lot of money? Realize that there is no answer. There is no correct answer. There's no right or wrong answer. And there's no answer that's going to work for anyone other than yourself. You just have to take a deep breath, realize maybe why, one, why you're asking it, two, find out what those kind of numbers are, and then just put your head down, get back to work. And I think you'll be shocked by the results and by the potential earnings that you can make that you don't even realize that you're capable of today. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it, and I look forward to talking with you guys again soon.